YouTube and Snapchat and fuckers. Welcome back to another installment of the Friday Wrap-Up. Well, what a fucking week it's been since the last wrap-up, which apparently you didn't get to see, but I'm going to get into that in a second. But before I get to today's show, I'd like to tip my hat to today's libation. I'm drinking. I had to go with a double today. It's been a fucking crazy day. A little Tito's and club soda, a little classic to get the Friday kicked off right. So, salud, the kids, drink up and be somebody. Well, let's get to the fucking 900-pound elephant in the room. So, last week, okay, today is the 11th. Last week, the 4th. The episode last week, you unfortunately were unable to see. And that is because it wasn't able to be posted. You might have seen this on Snapchat, okay? Well, apparently, the YouTube overlords pulled the 521 episode of the Friday Wrap-Up. They claimed... Your kid got censored. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. They claimed that I was spreading COVID misinformation. Okay? Now, just to refresh your memory, the 521 episode was the Friday after I broke my foot. So I was explaining majority of the episode how I broke my foot basically taking a shit. So apparently that's considered COVID misinformation. That's the episode they singled out, not the other fucking 99 episodes, okay? So, I mean, I naturally appealed it, okay? I naturally appealed it, and I knew that was going to go nowhere. They basically, and I even explained, listen, this is the episode, blah, 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 and they rejected the fucking appeal. I mean, I knew that was going to happen. And you know something? I don't fucking apologize for nothing, okay? Nothing. Because and I'm gonna explain why in a minute. This is all fucking Joe Rogan's fault, okay? Not that I got anything personal against Rogan. I think he's pretty fucking funny. But, you know, for those of you that just crawled out of a fucking hole, he has a podcast on Spotify. Now, just Rogan is huge on Spotify, okay? He brings 100 million subscribers to Spotify. So in one of his shows, this was like a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, last week, a week before, they said he was, the left, the fucking, they said he was spreading COVID misinformation. Apparently, when you don't agree, okay, with leftists, they just say, you know what, propaganda, misinformation, you're a terrorist, whatever. So, and this all came about because two fucking has-beens, all right, which their names I can't even recall, musicians, decided to pull their fucking music. One of them's from fucking Canada because of Joe Rogan, until Spotify removed him from the platform. Well, Spotify's not fucking dumb, okay? They're not pulling Rogan from the platform. I told you, he brings 100 million subscribers. Matter of fact, he put fucking Spotify on the map. Okay? And everybody's going, oh, yeah, Spotify's so good to stick it by Joe Rogan. Please, give me a fucking break. It ain't political. It's business. But what they did do is they started censoring him. They yanked like 70-plus fucking shows from his podcast lineup. So, and this is all because Rogan made the fucking mistake of apologizing. Listen, they can accuse you whatever the fuck they want to accuse you of, okay? But when you start apologizing and groveling, it makes it fucking worse, okay? And had he shut his mouth and not said anything, this probably all would have went away, and I wouldn't have been banned for a week on YouTube. So stop apologizing, Joe. Shut the fuck up and grow a set, for Christ's sake, okay? Matter of fact, the conservative video platform Rumble, which I know I should be on that one, but Rumble offered him 100 million to switch, and he said no. Okay, because the guy's got integrity. I'm not gonna say, and here's why. He said no. Spotify stuck with me. They didn't kick me off the platform, so I'm not gonna move. Like I said, it wasn't because they believe in free speech. If they believed in free fucking speech, they wouldn't have yanked 70 fucking episodes of his podcast. It's because he brings a lot of fucking money to the channel. Okay, but Rumble, listen, if you're listening, if you're watching, I'll do it for 50 million. Okay, fuck. I mean, just go ahead. You got a couple extra million laying around. I'll take it. I'll be a trick pony, no problem. Okay, so apparently me and Whoopi Goldberg got suspended within the same week. I mean, how about that? But I will not be silenced. Okay? I don't spread COVID misinformation. Let me explain something to you, okay? I'm a doctor, but not a fucking medical doctor, okay? So I don't give medical advice on this show. I give my opinions, okay? And my opinion is based on logic, okay? Common sense and facts, none of which the media or the powers that be contain. Okay, they don't have that. So I mean, they're touting fucking Mickey Mouse science, which is basically inaccurate sometimes. Okay, the CDC comes out, says the masks don't work. Then they come out, they say the masks work. Then they come out and say 2 masks, 3 masks, 5 masks. A vaccination is for this, booster for that. This, listen. If I say the vaccine doesn't work, it doesn't work on Omicron. That's a fact, okay? Because if it worked, people who got the vaccine wouldn't get Omicron. Now, granted, perhaps maybe it lessens the results or the severity of of the disease. So they say. But then again, in the same coin, I know people who didn't get the vaccine, who got Omicron, were asymptomatic and had no fucking symptoms, and the only reason they know is because they went and preemptively took a test. So, the science is fucking flawed. I will say this. The vaccine worked against the original form of COVID. That's a fact. Okay? I don't say it doesn't, because you don't hear of anybody getting that anymore. With 75 to 80% of the world vaccinated, nobody's gotten the original COVID. Fuck, nobody's really even gotten Delta. The only thing they're really talking about right now is Omicron, which is a less severe version of COVID, okay? So, yeah, I will continue to say that the vaccine did not really help the fucking Omicron, but it did perhaps work with it absolutely worked with the original COVID. Delta, meds are meds, okay? So I don't spread misinformation. Again, it's opinion based on fact, shit that I physically see, okay? If I say the masks don't work, well, that's logical, okay? Because if they worked, we all wearing masks for a year, nobody would get fucking COVID, okay? But that's my opinion. Whether you want to listen to that, whether you want to follow that, that's up to you. I don't put a gun to nobody's head. When I tell people kill themselves, I'm not saying, if you want to take the suggestion and do it, okay. Not my fault. You can't accuse me of manslaughter. I simply made a suggestion. You decide to jump off a fucking building, that ain't my problem. That's a you problem. Okay? So I don't spread misinformation. Okay? That's number one. So let's get that shit straight right now. Okay? So if the YouTube overlords are watching, maybe go back, watch some of the episodes, and you see what I mean. If I say, yeah, I didn't get COVID because I drank about 1.5 gallons of whiskey a fucking week, that's the only test subject is me. My result is based on on me alone. I'm not suggesting you forego masks and social distancing and vaccinations and shit like that and just switch to fucking Jamesons. Although, if you did, you'd probably be a lot fucking happier. Okay? But that's your choice. I'm not saying that that's a cold, hard fact. I'm just going based off of what I see, what I know. Okay? That's it. I'll even cite certain things I see on the news and shit like that. So this misinformation bullshit or is just an excuse to censor people who don't agree with liberal views. Hey, last time I checked, somebody should tell these fucking people. Free country. We have freedom of speech. You see, again, if they taught history in schools, okay, people would realize that trying to censor people and removing their ability to speak freely, okay, is not going to go well, because that's kind of what triggered the Revolutionary War way back when the throne basically told colonists you couldn't say this, you couldn't do this, you couldn't practice this religion or go here or do that. Eventually everyone said, you know what, fuck you. And that's how the Revolutionary War started, and that's how we have the U.S. Constitution and the United States of America. Again, perhaps maybe they should start teaching history in school again. All right? So, again, I'm not shutting up. They're gonna need the National Guard or a SWAT team to shut me up, because I'm not going nowhere. Great movie. Anyway, in other news, We got a big week coming up. We got the Super Bowl, right? Super Bowl Sunday. And on Monday, for all you sweethearts, Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day and the Super Bowl. I can imagine how many people are going to be fucking hungover on Monday. Uh, you might want to break up with your significant other now. Okay, so that way you could at least sleep it off on Monday, and then you kiss and make up on Tuesday and Wednesday. Just my suggestion. Okay, in other news, I'm excited about this. I drunk bought an air fryer the other day, so I got it last week. It, I've been resisting buying one of these things for the longest time, and I'll explain why in one of the cooking shows. But apparently, I've been so enthralled with this new device that I've been beta testing a lot of new recipes for new episodes of the Neighborhood Kitchen and the Kitchen Quickie. I think I might rebrand the Kitchen Quickie show and just make it specific for air fryers for the next couple of episodes. Because it kind of lends itself to that whole model. But we'll see. I'm still playing around with some new things. And in other news, and this isn't like funny or anything, but what are the anchors? You know, I'm a big News 12 fan. Probably for different reasons than most people. But what are the anchors? Elizabeth Hasshagen. And I might have mentioned this on one of the prior episodes. An old friend of mine. We went to high school together. Now, granted, I haven't seen Liz in probably a decade or so. We briefly crossed paths at a career day for kids, but we didn't really get a chance to converse. But like I said, we were kids together, and she's really a sweetheart of a girl. Anyway, she announced last week that turns out she got diagnosed with skin cancer. She had like a mole or something on her nose or a pimple on her nose, and she had it looked at. Turns out it was skin cancer. Now, a lot of people like brush skin cancer off. Okay, it's nothing. And you know what? In all honesty, it's probably the better of the cancers that you could get if there is such a thing. And I mean what I mean when I say that is, it usually has a very good rate of cure. Okay, so I mean, it usually, especially if you catch it early enough, you could treat it, cut it off, zap it, whatever, and you're good to go. But it is not something to be taken lightly. Okay, you shouldn't ignore that shit because it can kill you. It can spread. It can metastasize to other parts of your body. I had a very dear friend of mine a few years back. Great guy. He was an older guy. He was older than me, but really a sweetheart of a guy. And he was a fair-skinned guy. He was an Irishman, and he had skin cancer. He was always in the sun. I think he had it on his head, under his hair, and he really couldn't see it. And turned out it went bad real quick. And so like I said, that's not something that you want to fuck around with. If you're fair-skinned, you're freckled, you're Irish, you're German, stay the fuck out of the sun. Put some sunscreen on, okay? You don't need a tan. You're only going to sizzle. It's all right. People will still love you. But, so anyway, Liz had surgery at Northwell last Tuesday. I hope she's doing well. I haven't really heard anything, so I guess no news is good news. But we wish her well. So here you go, Liz. Salud, sweetheart. All righty, moving on. This is going to probably be a little bit of a longer show today because I got a lot of shit to cover. Okay, your Cuomo update, kids. Well, in a telephone interview with Bloomberg News, former Governor Nostril said that he feels vindicated because the charges have been dropped. The charges of sexual misconduct have been dropped in every county that they were filed in. DAs refused to move ahead with the cases, not because anyone thinks he didn't do anything, but mainly because of the AG's special investigation team fucked this up royally. Okay? Plus, I'm sure the DAs and the judges were hanging on that as an excuse to not move ahead because I'm sure they were pressured. Like I said, it's been said time and time again that Cuomo ran the state like a fucking mob boss. That doesn't necessarily mean that's a bad thing. Okay? But I'm sure he put the squeeze on a lot of these people. I mean, through other channels and other various methods. And he basically got the message across. Fucking with me is not good for your career. So, like I said, they use this as an excuse. I mean, every single county in New York that these charges were brought in, every DA said the same thing. Not enough evidence to proceed with the case. So even his arrest was dropped. Okay, so he's feeling all good about himself now. And he said he's not ruling out another run for public office. Now, here's where I could see him running for. I could see him, forget the fucking governor's office, okay? Been there, done that. I could see him running for U.S. State Senate. As a matter of fact, if I was his political advisor, that's what I would tell him to do. Okay? Not that I think he's going to be a great senator, but it sure as fuck would piss off the other Democrats. And listen, let's face it. Okay, you're a U.S. senator. You pretty much got a job for life, and you can fondle all the women you want. No one ever gets a fucking problem from it. Okay, I mean, look at when Biden was a senator. Allegedly, he was finger popping people left and right. Nothing happened. Okay, could you imagine a McConnell being brought up on sexual misconduct? I mean, honestly, if McConnell scratches this part of his face, it's kind of like he's fingering an old lady. So, could he bring up charges against himself? Just asking for a friend. I'm just saying. All right. Next up, your COVID special report. Okay, so Governor Kathy Hochul ended the mask mandate for indoor businesses. Not that it was really even being enforced in a lot of places. I mean, here and there, some people go, well, you have to wear a mask, and I go, fuck you, and walk out. So she removed the mask mandate this week, but not in schools. Not in schools. If your kids are still going to school, they still have to go to school with a half a diaper on their face. All right? They might be potty trained, but they still gotta keep that covered. And it's only because the teachers unions want the kids masked. I'm not even gonna go into how unbelievably fucking stupid and irresponsible that is. I'm not going to mention how detrimental it is to the development of children. Not going there, okay? All I'm saying is this whole mask mandate removal has nothing to do with medical science. The science has not changed behind it, okay? Or let me rephrase. What they're saying the science is, when the CDC goes, well, we recommend mask wearing, that hasn't changed. They haven't changed their fucking recommendation, okay? Even whether it works, doesn't work, it's irrelevant at this point. They're not changing their recommendation. The politics behind it have changed, okay? Every red state, there's no mask mandate. Everybody's happy. Polling is good for those Republican candidates. However, in the blue states, and this has been a trend in the last week and a half, all these fucking blue states that had mask mandates all suddenly woke up and went, nope, no more mask mandates. And the reason is, you got midterm elections coming up. You got state senators, you got governors, you got fucking all kinds of political officials up for re-election. And if you're in a blue state, the polling is in the shitter. These people are not polling well. Okay, which means they may lose their fucking jobs. So, this goes to show you how they've been fucking with us this whole time. So they lifted the mandates to bolster their popularity. So that it hopefully, it shows in the polls and they can retain their fucking positions of stupidity. So, the mask mandate's been lifted for a couple of days now. And you've heard me harp on this time and time and time again, almost like a broken record, but we're 3 days out, right, from the mask mandate being lifted, and there's still fucking people walking around with masks on. And it just fucking blows my mind. So, I even asked somebody, I was wearing a mask today. I was at Dunkin' Donuts, right? And this woman walked in, no mask. Walks in, gets online, no mask. Gets up to the line. Now I was finishing up my order and then puts the mask on. And I looked at her. I said, do you really think that thing fucking does anything? She says, no, I know it doesn't. I says, no, what the fuck you putting it on for, you neurotic fuck? Take it off with your fucking diaper face. Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, they'll even tell you it doesn't work, and yet they put it on because it's habit now. It's habitual. It's ingrained in their head. It's made people fucking neurotic. Look, if you're one of these people that cannot leave your house without putting a half of a fucking diaper over your face, covering half of your face in a fucking coffee filter, okay, stay home. Simple. All right? It's not complicated. You're that fucking paranoid that you think the best defense is a coffee filter over your goddamn ugly ass fucking face, stay home. Please, do everybody a favor. Or there's option 2. I told you, fill the bathtub up with hot water, plunge your head into it, and keep it there until the bubbles stop. All right? Please, you've been doing us all a favor, less traffic that way. I'm gold these fucking people. All right, kids, on another Biden blunder. Well, I came across this story. I don't know exactly how true it is. I'm going to say that. I think there's a little bit of exaggeration here, maybe. I think there's a little bit of misconception, but it seemed believable. I didn't really get a chance to really dive too much into the research. I kind of glanced through it, and I'm just going to let you know because it was fucking funny. So, apparently, in an effort to do more for inner city communities, Joe Biden, the White House, the Joe Biden administration has decided that they're going to send out safe drug kits. And in these kits, it supposedly contains free crack pipes. You can't make this fucking shit up, I'm telling you. So our tax dollars are going to go to buying junkies free crack pipes. Okay? Man, that Joe Biden, man, he all right, man. He gonna send us some free crack pipes, you know? Shit. Hey, Joe, man. Why did you do this, brother solid? Put some free rock in those boxes. You know, maybe let me hold $5 or something. You know, come on, Joe, help brother out. Every crackhead at Washington fucking Park is probably doing a happy dance. Speaking of crackheads and unrelated Biden news, a cop, a Nassau County cop, once showed me this video. They were, I guess, staking out whatever or doing a bust, and there's 2 crackheads, and I guess they only have 1 rock and 1 pipe, so they compromise. One guy lights the crack pipe, takes a hit, and then pulls the other guy's pants down. Swear to God, I saw this in a video. Sticks his face into the other crackhead's ass. I know. We all just verped a little bit. And then blows smoke into the guy's asshole. And I looked at the guy and says, what the fuck is this? He goes, apparently. He's like, when we busted them, he's like, because we couldn't stop laughing. He goes, apparently that gets you like super high. So they were sharing the high. I says the thing. So I said, first of all, my question is, how the fuck did they actually figure that out? Like, I mean, somebody said, hey, try blowing some smoke up my ass. Let me see how that feels. Like, I mean, literally blowing smoke up the guy's ass. So anyhow, back to a Biden blunder. In other Biden news, he may have greenlit a Russian invasion into the Ukraine. Now, a couple weeks back, he gave a press conference, which was an absolute fucking disaster. And he was asked about, Russia's positioning on Ukraine, and Biden basically said, well, if it's a small incursion, a small invasion, I mean, we'll hit them with some sanctions and give them a good stern talking to. So basically, he said, yeah, we ain't gonna do nothing. Go ahead and invade. I mean, if you're Putin, right? That's what you fucking heard. They don't respect this guy. Okay, he's soft. They look at him as weak because if Trump was president and Russia even was considering the words invasion even started to form on Putin's mouth, Trump would have simply gone, stop it. And you know what? They would have backed off because they knew he was a little mentally irregular. He would have lit up fucking Russia like Christmas. Biden, they don't respect. Matter of fact, Biden granted Russia a fucking oil pipeline, shuts ours down, gives Russia gas. So Russia controls the fucking gas in Europe. How does this make sense? Okay, so the White House issued a warning for all Americans to get the fuck out of the Ukraine. And listen, if you're American and you're in the Ukraine, you should pack your shit and go. Look what happened to the Americans in Afghanistan. This cocksucker will leave you there, okay? Your ass is dust. If you don't know Russian, you're fucking done, okay? This moron is going to fucking cause World War III. Let me just tell you something. I mean, but, in his defense, he's got to find a way to top last year's fucking disasters, right? So, I mean, what better way, right? I mean, just when you thought Joe Biden couldn't fuck up anything else. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you World War fucking III, okay? Russia, China versus the U.S. Oh, this is going to be delightful. You heard it here first. Watch, okay? If I'm right, you heard it here first. Man, Obama was right. That's not something you hear me say very often. Because I told you, Obama was once recorded saying, do not underestimate Joe Biden's ability to fuck things up. This guy could fuck up a free lunch. Okay? He's a complete fucking clusterfuck. All right, kids. Get your tickets out. We're about to hop onto that maniacal magical express into mayhem and fuckery. Crazy train's about to leave the station. All aboard! Woo-hoo! First stop, New York, Long Island, New York, Deer Park. Well, get this. This was I saw this on Channel 12, okay? Speaking of Channel 12. So some woman from Deer Park, Long Island, goes to the Saks Fifth Avenue at the Walt Whitman Mall, right, last week. And she buys a $3,100 Louis Vuitton bag, which I don't understand why people spend this extraordinary amount of money on fucking pocketbooks, but that's, says the guy with the fucking 2000 Jordans behind him, but I don't understand. Anyway, when she was in the store, I guess cashing out of it, she noticed that some woman was videotaping her. Okay. She left the store and went home. She got in her car and went home. Had to go inside when she got home to tend to her kid, who's handicapped. And I guess, in the rush, she left the fucking bag in the car. Well, they have some Ring surveillance from the doorbells and shit. And it showed the woman who allegedly filmed this woman, okay, in the store, with some guy. They pull up in a car. The guy gets out of the car, smashes the fucking window, grabs the bag, they jump in the car, and they leave. Okay? So, basically what happened was, they watched this woman buy this bag, followed her home, okay, waited till she got into the house, and they fucking robbed the bag. What if she brought the bag in the house? What are they going to do, jump her on the fucking front lawn? This is what I'm saying. You got to be careful when you're shopping. You got to keep your eyes all over the place. People always give me shit for this. You're always looking at everybody else is doing. I'm like, yeah, because I don't trust nobody. All right? I don't go to the supermarket unless I'm packing. That's the truth. I'm not fucking lying because I'm telling you, people are fucking mentally irregular. That's why I don't like going to malls and stores and shit like that. If I'm going to buy something like that or something expensive, I'd rather buy it online. Seriously, so nobody sees what the fuck I'm doing. So just be careful out there, kids. All right? Next up, New York City. Well, apparently New York City has a brand new hamburglar. So a guy steals 10 steaks from Trader Joe's on East 14th Street in the Village. Because they have a store there. So walks out of the store with 10 fucking packs of steak. Okay? Store employees followed him. They videoed him. They watched him coming up the escalator. They watched him walk out of the fucking store. Apparently, store employees are told not to do anything because they could get in trouble because approaching one of these people and stopping them and accusing them of stealing is apparently racist. Okay? If the person is black. Just to clarify that point. Okay? And no. Again, I'm not racist. I'm not being racist. I hate everyone equally. I'm just telling you what they do, okay? So, so they're videoing the fucking guy, and they're asking, did you pay for those? He's like, nah. He's fucking trying to hide it. Watch the video. Google it. It's on New York Post has it. Okay? And he's like, nah, man, nah, I'm homeless. That's their fucking thing, okay? They steal everything in the fucking store, and that's their excuse. They're homeless. Everybody's fucking homeless now, all of a sudden, okay? He wasn't fucking homeless. You know why? He was wearing fucking Jordans, okay? Bullshit. Homeless. If you're homeless, you don't wear fucking Air Jordans, all right? Trust me on that, okay? These things ain't fucking cheap. All right, so the police is supposedly looking for. I mean, what are they doing? Driving around New York City looking for a fucking barbecue? You're homeless. You need 10 steaks? 10? What are you going to do? Cook for all the homeless guys? Matter of fact, it's a funny thing. As he's walking down 14th Street with these fucking steaks, there's a guy like sweeping and he had like a garbage bag over a fire hydrant. This fucking guy drops the steaks in the thing and grabs the bag. And the guy goes, yo, man, where you going with my fucking bag? He goes, I'm homeless. I don't give a shit. I'll bust your ass. Imagine this shit, unfucking believable. You can't make this up. I mean, so yeah, the cops are looking for him. Great. It's not like they're gonna lock him up. I mean, because if they did, that would be racist too. I mean, because according to the DA of New York, it's racist to prosecute non-white criminals. That's a true story. Okay, so white people have to pay more for things. Because people are looting these, and not just white people, anybody who's going into a store and purchasing stuff honestly. Okay, so I'm not saying just white people do that. Anybody who goes, black, white, Hispanic, whatever. If you're going into the store to buy goods and items in New York City, especially, legitimately, you're going to be paying more money because the stores are up in the cost because of all the fucking merchandise that's walking out the front door. Insurance aside, doesn't matter. Okay? So, because people are looting these fucking stores all over the city, everybody who's buying stuff legitimately is going to pay more. If I tried stealing 10 steaks from a supermarket in New York City, right? They would have a fucking APB out of my ass before I even hit the fucking corner. Okay? But apparently in New York, if you're black, you could do this. Again, I'm not being racist. I'm not singling out. That's just the way it is. Right? Next stop, we're going to stay in New York City. We're going to go uptown and we're going to visit our new friend, Mayor Motherfucker. So, Eric Adams apparently says he likes to run around saying he's a vegan. Okay, he says he became a vegan and it cured his diabetes. It helped clear up his fucking going blind from diabetes, whatever the fuck, who knows. It's fairy tales, okay? He went on a diet, that's the thing, and cut out sugars and shit like that, and that's fine, but he became a vegan. Well, he's not a vegan. Okay, he eats fish. If you eat fish, you're not a vegan. You're a pescatarian. So he eats fish and vegetables and tofu and garbage. Okay? Let me tell you something. These people don't know how to eat. You ever see a healthy vegan? Look at them. They all look like the crackheads with the free crack pipes look better. Okay? Anybody who, like, purposely omits certain food groups thinking that that's healthy doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. You got to have a nice balance of everything, because when you omit, especially meat, your body can't process it no more. In order to reintroduce that, you're going to give yourself like the fucking shit squirts. All right, so he's talking about his vegans are like fucking drug addicts, man. They got a high from a fucking piece of tofu. They want to share it with everybody. So he was talking about his plans to roll out new initiatives to encourage New Yorkers to have as many plant-based meals as possible. Now, do we really need this fucking bullshit? Okay, the city's a fucking war zone. There's crime and shooting everywhere. Homeless people are stealing steaks from Trader Joe's and jerking off in the middle of Rite Aid. Okay? And this fuckface is worried about salads and Impossible Burgers? Vegans just want everybody to be fucking miserable like that, okay? Okay, they're upset, like I said, that they can't have a nice steak anymore without shitting their pants, so they just want everyone to eat fucking plants. Well, while he is explaining this, he's making vegan chili, which is not chili, in case you've ever seen the chili episode of The Neighborhood Kitchen, in front of the city's press corps, because apparently New York City needed a vegan cooking show too that day. And as he's talking, he's explaining his diet and how he got there and blah blah blah. And he said you can't tell the difference between someone who's a heroin addict and someone who's hooked on cheese. I'm pretty sure you can there, Eric. Okay? I mean, listen, no one never needed to be restrained because they were detoxing from cheese. Okay? No one ever OD'd on fucking mozzarella sticks and just foaming at the mouth in the fucking corner of the restaurant. Okay? All right? I'm pretty sure you could. You never seen someone come up to you, man, I'll suck your dick with some cheddar. That's never happened. Has it happened with heroin addicts? You bet your ass it has. So, I don't know. This guy, I told you he'd be entertaining to watch. I'm not too sure I like him. Next stop, McDonald's. This is just fucking crazy. So, McDonald's has been doing this thing now, these menu hacks. where, you know, they're making TikTok videos, and even the restaurants are pushing it, they're promoting it. And one of the things they're promoting as a menu hack is this land, sea, and air burger. Take a look at this thing, okay? Basically, what this is it's like you're combining a Big Mac, a McChicken sandwich, and a Filet-O-Fish, and you make it one. What fucking stoner came up with this? I'd like to know. Okay, I mean, this is just fucking stoner food. Okay, what kind of fat fuck is going? Let me have 3,000 calories worth of sandwiches instead of one. Okay, Jesus Christ, these fucking people worry about who's not vaccinated, who's wearing a mask in their car. Okay, they're afraid to go near anyone because they're concerned for their health and safety. You need a fucking affidavit and a health certificate to get into any fucking McDonald's in the 5 boroughs, but yet this is okay? Holy fucking shit, what is wrong with everybody? So, a woman posted a fucking TikTok. She went viral on TikTok because her fat McCarran of a husband, okay, ordered one of these land, sea, and air monstrosities, okay, on DoorDash. That's how these fucking lord asses, they can't even go out and get these fucking shit. I gotta have it delivered. Work to the farm, a lazy son of a bitch. This is why everybody's just one French fry away from exploding. Okay, between COVID and between this stupid shit. I mean, I swear to God, everybody. I'm afraid when someone yawns in a restaurant next to me, I'm afraid they're gonna pop. Okay, so he ordered this on DoorDash. Now I guess every McDonald's does this differently. Maybe some of the McDonald's are selling them actually made to go, and most of them, what they're doing, because again, it's a gimmick to make you to buy more food, they're selling it as 3 different sandwiches. So you get a Big Mac, you get a McChicken, you get a fucking Filet-O-Fish. Okay, and then you make your own. That's the whole point. And this guy just did not understand, or he just was not happy about that. Tubby didn't like that. Okay, so he got the 3 sandwiches and he was pissed that he had to make them. So he calls McDonald's corporate and complains. And says, you know, if I wanted to make my own sandwich, I would have just stayed home and made my own sandwich. Well, he was home. He had a DoorDash to his house. So his wife, probably because she just can't fucking believe what a fat tub of shit she married, is videoing this and laughing and putting it on fucking TikTok. I really hope that this girl is fucking every guy in the neighborhood, okay? Because there's no way that this is a happily married woman. At all. This guy couldn't satisfy his own fucking cravings, let alone anything else. Jesus fucking Christ. This is why women are switching sides. I'm telling you, this is why. It's because of fat fucking losers like that. Anyhow, next stop, Miami. Welcome to Miami, baby. Okay, so now, one of my favorite basketball players, aside from Michael Jordan, Shaquille O'Neal. Okay, so apparently, and Shaq is a funny fucking guy, okay? So I love Shaq. So this is not meant in any way to, you know, throw shade at the guy or to make fun of him, but I read this and I could see him do it. It's just fucking funny as hell. So apparently Shaq drives gorillas crazy, like actual fucking gorillas. I know what you're thinking. Oh shit, he gonna get racist now, this motherfucker. No, I'm not. Okay, this is a true story. He actually said this in an interview. I almost died laughing. So he said that every time he goes to a zoo, and goes near the gorilla pavilions, the gorillas go ape shit because they think he's a gorilla, you know, and they get intimidated, and they think that he's going to challenge them for dominance and steal their women. Boy, what you trying to say? You trying to say Shaq look like a gorilla? That's fucking racist, man. I mean, he do. Motherfucker bigger than a gorilla. But that's still racist, boy. Pops, what's going on? Haven't seen you since last year. Yeah, motherfucker, I've been on an extended vacation. You know what I'm saying? The government vacation. They gave me that $1,400. I took my ass out of here. But that's still racist, boy. What you trying to say about Shaq? No. You got it wrong, my friend. It's not me. I'm not saying it. He said it. Take a look. Oh, well, that's different. You know what I'm saying? So anyhow, The gorillas think Shaquille O'Neal is a big gorilla himself. And he thinks it's fucking hilarious. So, hey, listen, what can I tell you? Next up, Disney World. So, a couple got caught getting frisky on one of the rides. There's a ride, a section of Disney that's all futuristic called Tomorrowland, where Space Mountain is and all that shit. They have this ride called the People Mover. It's like a big tram, and it goes through the whole Tomorrowland section. Probably boring as shit, okay? So, there's a couple on this fucking thing, and it got to the part where they're going through Space Mountain, so it's dark, and I guess the mood hit them, and they got a little frisky. I don't know exactly what they were doing, but, in Disney World, and I know this because I dated somebody who worked in Disney many, 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 many moons ago, so I got, like, the free tour, There's cameras everywhere. It's fucking crazy. Okay, there's cameras in the rides and the characters, everything. They see everything. There's people in the control rooms that just sit there looking for this shit. Matter of fact, 100 years ago when I got the tour, two guys were telling me how they caught some people fucking in like Planet Earth in Epcot because that's a boring ride. So anyway, these two got frisky, so they stopped the ride. Camera, loudspeaker came over to camera. We could see you. So they right away, they stopped, blah, blah, blah. Anyhow, the guy was seen exiting the ride, zipping up his fly. How embarrassing for the girl, right? So for those of you that don't know, I guess I have to say this. Disney apparently is a no fuck zone, okay? Because of its family oriented nature. But I know what you're thinking. But Tommy, isn't that how families are made? From fucking? Yes. So just don't do it on the ride. Save that shit for the room. Okay? There you go. A little nickel's worth of free advice. All right, kids, your sports update. Well, NFL, Super Bowl weekend, like I said. And it marks the end to an abysmal NFL season. The Super Bowl couldn't come fucking fast enough. Okay? So, Rams and Bengals. Everybody in Cincinnati's excited. They're the underdog on this. But I like the Rams for 10. Okay? And everybody's like, oh, the commercials are going to be... Listen, yeah, Super Bowl commercials used to be funny. I noticed last year, and I'm sure this year's going to be even worse, most of these things are just going to be political fucking, they're all going to be like BLM and inclusionary and woke this and woke that, and maybe the fucking M&Ms will all be like gender neutral now. I mean, maybe they'll show one of the M&M commercials where they're removing the M&M's peanut and making them plain. I don't know. It's not funny no more. They're not entertaining anymore. So these people that are looking forward for the commercials, I want to crack them in the fucking head. And then I hear the halftime show. Halftime show is Snoop Dogg. I never watched the halftime show. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I think twice. 3 times. One, when Shakira was on it, because she's like my 7th or 8th ex-wife in my head. I think J-Lo did it once, and it's J-Lo, And then when Janet Jackson did it and a tit popped out, that was amazing. But other than that, I never really watched the halftime shows. So this year it's Snoop Dogg, and this one I might want to watch. It's Snoop Dogg, Eminem, and Dr. Dre. I wonder how many times they're going to fucking bleep them. I think the whole goddamn thing will be silent. I got $100 that says Snoop is high. All right, let's talk about the Winter Olympics. Who the fuck is watching this shit? I don't care that it's in Beijing. I wouldn't watch it if it was like in my backyard. Okay, it's boring. I don't understand what people's obsession with the Olympics are. And the only thing that I'll watch maybe is curling. Only because I can't understand how this is a fucking sport. To me, it's like, 5 guys somewhere in the Midwest invented this just to get the fuck away from their wives and drink beer. I mean, like, they got 2 stunad one night, and they go, I got an idea, I take this stick and I'm move in front of the thing. It's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen, and it's an Olympic sport. And of course, all the people that do curling, they all look like they're buffet busters, right? I mean, what I think they should do, what I think would be far more interesting is they should do a winter special Olympics. Okay? Like, I mean, you could have things like crippled sledding. You just push them down a hill. Like, thump. Who can get the furthest without falling over? polio snowshoe races. I mean, my stick is stuck. Limbless figure skating. You attach your skate to the bottom of their stump and you just thump the wall and fall. That's my personal favorite. Retarded curling. I know. At least it's warm and hell. Anyhow, NHL. Rangers are back next Tuesday, thank God. Islanders play the Oilers tonight at 9. NBA, holy fucking shit. Can we please talk about this fucking Nets trade yesterday? I thought I was going to die. I thought I couldn't believe I was seeing what I was seeing. So I'm having dinner and I see this come on the news. I almost fell out of my fucking chair. I couldn't believe it. The Nets traded James Harden to the Sixers for like Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, that's Steph Curry's like retarded younger brother, and some other moron and a couple of fucking picks. What the fuck are they thinking? You're gonna trade Harden? This is one of your star players. Trade Irving. Trade Kyrie. Trade Kyrie and a couple of other fucking retards. First of all, Ben Simmons, I can't stand this fucking guy. He's useless. Curry, I'm not impressed with. Okay? You trade Harden. Between Harden and fucking Durant last year, you carried them all the way down to the fucking semifinals. What the fuck are they thinking? Well, there goes the Brooklyn championship run. Fucking unbelievable. I mean, I couldn't sleep last night because of this. Well, Nets play the Heat Saturday at 8. Who gives a fuck? Knicks and Blazers Saturday at 5. Bulls and Timberwolves tonight at 8. And Saturday they play the Thunder at 8 o'clock. On what the fuck is that? We're going to talk about persistent genital arousal disorder, otherwise known as PGAD. Well, you're probably going, that's a mouthful. What is that? PGAD is a phenomenon in which a person, primarily women, but it can happen to guys, experience spontaneous genital arousal and orgasms. Okay, so they're walking around and all of a sudden they suddenly have an orgasm. I mean, and it just comes, no pun intended, randomly. Okay, some women experience this for about a month straight. Could you imagine? You're just orgasming randomly for about a month, like you're just shopping. I guess it's a form of genital Tourette's. Okay. I absolutely would love to have a friend like this. Like, I would hang out with them all the time just to see what would happen. It's like, you know, the movie Harry Met Sally, which is at Katz's Deli and pretends to have an orgasm. Like, that's, someone's doing that, like, they start trembling. Like, I mean, I might start doing this in Target. I probably will get arrested if I'm standing online and all of a sudden, pee my pants a little bit, make a little wet stain. Guaranteed. They'd take me out of handcuffs. Holy shit. Oh, God. Yep. Like I said, it's warm in hell. On Right or Racist, since, you know, in the spirit of the Winter Olympics being in Beijing, I have a Right or Racist here about China. So, as a result of female infanticide in China, there are 100 to 120 million more men in China than women. Well, that's racist. There's 100 to 120 million is an insane amount. There's an estimated 30 to 40 million more men than women, however, in China due to female infanticide. So, you know, that's a bigger egg roll party right there. Okay, kids, your PSA. Well, you know, when I was researching that Crazy Train story about Disney, people fucking in Disney, I accidentally came across, and I mean this, I accidentally came across something called Disney porn. So I'm like, oh, what's this? So I Googled it. Oh my God. Holy shit. Wow. The things they do to like the Little Mermaid and Jasmine from Aladdin. Wow. It's just unfucking believable. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And then Jessica Rabbit, man, You're welcome. Go ahead. Google Disney. Google image Disney porn. You're welcome. That's all I'm saying. Okay? All right, kids. Stay COVIDless. No mask. Don't ask. Haters can kiss my ass. And remember, who loves you, babe? It's been your Friday wrap-up. And I'll see you when I see you.